Minister, I want to thank you for coming to the House today, and I'd like to put on record my sincere thanks to you for being available to all of us in this House, not just party members, and responding when we come to you looking for assistance. So I want to put that on record. Minister, the first thing I want to do today is to thank the principals of the schools who have managed to keep their schools running, albeit remotely, who are managing staff, who are managing parents, who are managing students, boards of management. All of that has taken place from their own homes. I also want to acknowledge administration staff and porters and various other people like cleaners that are going into schools and are maintaining the schools while students are out. And finally, to my former colleagues in the teachers' unions, I think it's wonderful that they have sat down and found a way forward with you, and that's to be congratulated that you've managed to do that. Now, one of the things I wrote to the Minister on was the need to start looking at antigen testing in schools. The Austrians are doing it, the Germans are doing it, the Italians are doing it, it's been done in Taiwan and China. I cannot for the life of me understand what the blockage is in this country. Luke O'Neill talks about this every single week, about why aren't we using antigen testing? Because it will detect very high rates of virus and it will allow people to manage the situation much better. So from that point of view, I would ask you to bring that back to the department, bring it back to the Minister. Is there a way that we would have schools open and working much better if we had antigen testing available to us? The voluntary aspect to this, I want to compliment both the special needs assistants and the teachers who have stepped up to the plate. But Minister, this brings forward a question on the vaccine issue. And that is, to my mind, they are now frontline workers. They are putting themselves at risk. We're telling them not to visit other houses, and yet we're asking that they would engage with parents, engage with families, and put themselves at risk. It's my view that both the special needs students themselves and the staff that are engaging with them on a daily basis should be moved up the risk category and be referred to as frontline workers and be treated in exactly the same way as a nurse or a doctor in an A&E department would be treated with respect to COVID. I have been told that I should thank you for not opening mainstream schools straight away, that we need to sort of get a more coordinated move forward. So I think that's a good idea. A number of parents have spoken to me about speech therapy and occupational therapy and how it comes in under the domain of the HSE when in fact it's dealing with children in schools. And I believe that COVID-19 has provided us with an opportunity to re-examine how we deal with those two issues and see could we get occupational therapy and speech therapy assigned to a pool of schools or something like that. I think there's a huge case to be made for that. The issue of vulnerable teachers, apart from the vaccine, early on the authority, if you want, to allow a teacher in a high-risk capacity or state to remain at home or to keep outside the school. That decision was thrown over on boards of management. And I think it's really not good enough to allow that to happen. I don't believe it came from you, Minister, but from the department. I don't believe that boards of management are in any way qualified to determine whether somebody should or should not be in the school. So from that point of view, I would ask you to have a look at that. I have to speak on the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert. Minister, I think it's folly to plan for an examination this year. We saw what happened last year with the flip-flopping. I know it's slightly outside your area, but you might bring it back. The flip-flop, we're on, we're off, we're on, we're off, and then eventually we're off. So from that point of view, I do think that we need to make a final decision. It's either gone or it's not, the Leaving Cert, and we find an alternative. Teachers, remember when I was in the teachers' union, they would have hung me if I said we need to go in for a local assessment. They stood up to the plate in 2020 and they did that. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't do it again. Finally, I am concerned about the panel of teachers I'm being told that are available. I'm not so sure there are as many available as we're being led to believe. Minister, I'll finish with that. I want to thank you for coming into the House today.